So you go out to Fort Sill. How was boot camp? Did you regret your decision, or were you into it?
That was my first time on a plane.
Damn.
I had like, that was my life in Orange County. Like I worked at Knott's Berry Farm. Like my biggest concern was like if the froyo machine was broken, like I was like boysenberry gang. Like I was born on third base. I didn't hit a triple. Like I know that, you know what I mean? Like I was very, very fortunate. Like the life that I had and my upbringing. Like I know that. And so that was my first time getting on a plane, going to Fort Sill. And I remember it was just so flat, like, cause that's where the artillery is. Like that's home of the artillery, like king of the battle. It's just flat, windy. And I do remember like, the in processing, I was still like, oh, this is kind of weird. I'm not like sure what I'm doing. But the second day of like boot camp, we were like sitting down for the PT test, and we all had we had these colored vests on. And I remember sitting down, and you had to turn around so you couldn't watch the guy that was going, and you had to put your head between your knees so you couldn't watch. So they didn't want anyone seeing. And that's when I had that like thought of like, what the hell am I doing? Like, cause it is like 5 a.m, like, and we're out here doing a PT test. Like I was just in band, like not that long ago, you know, like I could get college paid for, and now like they're telling me I get a GI Bill so I can go to college after. Like this is kind of crappy, man. And then it breaks you down so much to realize that you're like nothing, and you have to work as like a team to succeed. Because regardless of what people say, group punishment works. Like if you do not fall in line with what the platoon's doing, like you're all going to pay for it. And it's great. And then I went to medic school at Fort Sam Houston, Texas. That was 16 weeks.
And how was that medic school? Now that you're a paramedic, when you look back, how good was your training? Like in the SEAL teams, the medics in the SEAL teams, they get freaking awesome training. Like it is outstanding. I want to say it's over a year long.
That's insane.
And they get an incredible amount. They do they go into like emergency rooms and work on people. They get live tissue training all the time. It's crazy the amount of training they get. How was your training?
So the first 8 weeks is National Registry EMT training. So you're an EMT basic. So you actually, the first 8 weeks is like the in processing of EMT school. So you're getting up to a national standard of training. The second 8 weeks is military training, like military medicine, like how to just all the tips and tricks. You're basically just a trauma machine. So to correlate that on the outside was kind of hard, because usually, and for the most part in the military, everyone's healthy. Like nobody has like seizure problems, heart problems, nothing like that. So when I went to paramedic school, the trauma aspect was easy when I was doing that portion of it. But in paramedicine, that's so like very little of like what you need to know to be a paramedic. It's very sick geriatric patients with chest pain, diabetics, seizures, all these, like all the pathophysiology, like that I had to learn, all the cardiology, the pharmacology, like it was all new. So I do remember meeting up with the SEAL team medics a couple of times. We just like looked at each other's aid bags. And I believe one dude was a sniper too. He's like, I'm the medic and the sniper.
Yeah.
Like,
we actually, believe it or not, had a couple guys that were medics and snipers.
I remember rapping with him like during one of the briefings, because we went to your guys' one of your briefings. We stood on the outside. I was still blown away that you guys were like on a first name basis, because I was like, I don't even know why I'm in this room for one, because we're doing outer cordon for you guys, like for you guys to go and do the work. Like we're going to hang out on the outside while you guys go take care of that. But we were all briefing in there, and you guys are just calling each other by your first name. So like calm, cool, collected. And like, it was just so like well orchestrated. It was like the Chick-Fil-A Drive-Thru. You guys are just like so smooth, like, and operationally sound. I was like, holy crap. Like, I don't know. I was just blown away with like how smooth it went. Like the briefing down to like the entire operation. Yeah. Like hearing the SEAL teams on the radio, there was no inflection in the voice. It was calm, cool, collected. And I remember, like, I believe we talked about it before, like Cop Falcon. Like there were 3 like IA injured. Yeah. And the radio traffic was just like, hey, we have 3 injured. Yeah. We're going to exfil. And it's like, dude, these guys are machines.
Yeah. Yep. We had a good crew, and I'm thinking about the sniper medics that you're talking about right now.
It was one guy that I believe he's like an Asian guy.
Yeah. That's Johnny Kim,
that's like the astronaut, right?
The astronaut.
So
yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw like a news article, and I'm like, dude, I'm pretty sure I met that dude.
You did.
Because him and I were sitting, we were outside just going over like the breakout session after the brief. And I was like, hey, what do you carry in that thing? And he was showing me like his aid bag and just rapping with him. And I looked at his weapon. I'm like, dude, that's a gnarly weapon. He's like, yeah, I'm a sniper too. I'm like, yeah. And I heard like now he's a freaking astronaut. Like,
yeah. And this is after he's a doctor too. He went to Harvard Medical School afterwards. So yeah, that's Johnny Kim.
One upper, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. He's an awesome guy. And actually one of the other snipers in that platoon was also a corpsman. It was Kevin Lace. Dauber's his nickname, but he was another medic sniper, which is definitely a weird.
That's crazy.
It's a little bit rare. It doesn't happen a lot. The fact that first of all, we had 13 snipers in my task unit, which was a lot of that's normally like maybe you'd have 5 or 6 maybe, but we had 13. It was, again, like when you have corpsmen that are snipers, 2 of your medics are snipers. That's random.
Insane.
Yeah, just random.
That's overkill.
But so when you're in medic school, rewinding a little bit back to going to medic school, do you feel like you got pretty good training there?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So you were ready to rock?
You're basically like just a trauma machine. So one of like the final drills is you have to be able to treat 4 critical patients with 1 aid bag. And it's kind of cool. Like they set up like loud speakers, and I have to go in, they have like flashing lights. It's simulating like a battlefield. And then you have to like crawl over to like the casualties, assess them, like tourniquets, bleeding control, say like what your interventions would be. Mm-hmm. And you have to treat 4 critically wounded patients to pass. Mm-hmm. So I thought it was really good. Yeah. The training that I got. And then I got orders to go to Friedberg, Germany. That's where Elvis was stationed.
Oh, that's right.
He was in the military, Ray Barracks.
There you go. Freaking legit. So you show up. How's it when you show up there?
Oh, it was good. I was actually put in the 501st Forward Support Battalion because the brigade reconnaissance does not have a medic assigned to them until they deploy. So I was actually in an aid station unit until we deployed. And
did they tell you, hey, once we deploy, you're going to go into the brigade recon troop?
No. So that was kind of a funny story. We did all this training like up until like we knew we were going because 1st Armored Division deployed in 2003 in the initial. They came back in 2004. So we were slated to go back in 2006. So we knew we were going in January of 06. I was in the support battalion. So all of my training was geared towards like casualty receiving.
So like being in Charlie Med?
Yeah, Charlie. So I was in Charlie Med. So in a way, it worked out to my benefit because I knew all the doctors, all the PAs. I still keep in contact with some of those people. But I was in Charlie Med. And before we deployed, I did a couple operations with Dan and for the training. And when BRT requested a medic, they requested me. So I got called into my CO's office. They're like, hey, you're being reassigned. You have orders to go with BRT. And this was like right before the deployment. So I got those orders before we went on 2 weeks of leave before we were going to deploy. So I got the orders, did Christmas, and we were deploying like 2 weeks after January.